Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day in the market. August 26th, Tuesday. We are looking at SPY. We're looking at the 0-day options today I took on it and the small account challenge. We're there. So yesterday I forgot to mention yesterday's video. There was like a pretty obvious trade I missed and I forgot to even mention it. I looked at it later. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Deleted my lines, but I think it's because I was like sleeping. I was super tired yesterday. I've not been getting much sleep for different reasons. It's hard to see now, but I think it was this cup and handle. Yeah, so my lines had, first of all, I see this cup, and then this is the handle. My lines had this handle is like perfectly, almost perfectly retesting my support. That was the one. There's also, was it this one? Maybe it was this one. It happened twice there. As you can see, this cup and then that handle. I think that was the one I was actually specifically talking about. But I missed that yesterday anyways. Kind of happened again, but the handle took a lot longer. But yeah, tired yesterday, and that was part of the excuse for, I think, my poor trading. You have to just recognize that how you're doing mentally, emotionally, physically, and adjust your trading to meet that. So doesn't mean you can't trade, just gotta be aware. Today, feeling better. I hurt myself though yesterday, so that sucks, but I'm good. What do we got? We have chop this morning. That was on the menu. Opened above 5-day. Still haven't really tested 5-day. Close. Maybe it considers that a test. Not really. I didn't take any trades in here. We do have a nice little, I had gold here and purple and red. Nice little break on purple and then a retest for this cup and handle. But as you see, the buying that ensued after that was just very mellow. So no serious buying going on there. So it would have been hard to manage. I didn't take that though. Let me see what I took here. I can't remember. Okay, yeah, it wasn't for a bit. So I sat on my hands, which I'm happy about because this was very grindy. And once I had charted this green, I was like, all right, this is definitely, I gotta wait for liquidity to be built and structure to be formed, because we've got some very controlled buying from the bulls, but no structure so far. So anything on the put side to me, unless it breaks this green, would be a mutual interest trade, retracement trade. And I did end up taking one. I don't know, it wasn't out of necessarily like lack of patience, I guess, because it could have flipped, of course, and complete inverse cup. Part of the reason also is because it broke this white right. I mean, it broke it. Well, really the low is on that wick, but on the bodies you can see it broke it here and then retested it perfectly twice. And then, but then it also broke my purple. So, but then that's when I got that green. And it retested that green. So anyways, puts here would have worked for a retracement, but the range is tight. I mean, there's a small range this morning. Puts here, and then I say your stop could be the green, but it's just such a gradual channel. Anyways, I got puts. I got one. Where did I get it? Right here. So kind of same thing, just kind of it puts at resistance more or less on the green. And I held through this, came up here, I almost closed it, and I didn't. This actually ended up being a red trade, just because it didn't make my spot I was going for. I don't think I had white chart at that point. No, I didn't. So I closed it on this candle after it broke that green. My profit, or my, yeah, where's my target on this thing? Yeah, I mean, it barely went up. The range was really, really tight. So sure, I could have closed it on this green candle and been up $1 or $2. Maybe I should have. I don't know. It didn't make my first or my take profit, so I'm not seeing it now. Anyways, not sure where it was. But got white chart in there and then green, and then once it did that and I closed, then I was like, well, I should probably flip to calls because it just broke my green resistance. The structure is not very obvious, but you do have inverse head, shoulder, and a shoulder just grabbed right there. And then you could say a bigger inverse head, shoulder, and a shoulder grabbing up here. So that structure wasn't too obvious, but it breaking green and then flipping into support instead of resistance I did see that, and so I did actually go long. So this first trade was a red one, 42 cents to 36. Yeah, again, it's like, I guess I could have taken a little profit on it. It was close to my, whatever. Anyways, next trade was at 11.56. So it was actually on this candle. Oh, it was earlier than that. That's weird. That was for 53 cents. This thing came down. I was like, oh, retest. Then I got some nice green. My real take profit was high of day or breaking the buying. So it broke my buying here, but I was like, well, maybe that's too aggressive. So then I checked Emperor's chart. Emperor's part of Spy Day Trading's Discord. Link for that in the description if you're interested. Here's Emperor. Shout out Emperor. Looked on his and I was like, okay, wait, where are we? So he actually didn't have this one here. That would have been much easier. This line was up here. Yeah, this is supports. And I was like, all right, well, I'll either close it at a high day, because I only have one of these contracts, or I'll close it when it breaks his orange. So it broke his orange right here, and I closed it on that next candle. So yeah, if I had two, of course, I could have closed one and then closed the next one high of day, or yeah. But I only had one, so it was a small gain, 53 cents, 59. If I'd caught some of the volatility, it would have been like 63 cents, so 4 cents or so in slippage. If I was able to do that, but I wasn't, because I was trying to hold it until at least high of day. So yeah, something to think about for sure. And then I was basically out of buying power. I had enough. I think I had like $30 in buying power left. But that's when it got kind of interesting. So I got the calls there for that break of green. And then I didn't trade through here. Had an inverse head and shoulder right here, but didn't have a continuation. The problem with up here, which I wasn't getting, was I have green at the top. It's breaking it. So I'm like, is it not green? Then it's like, well, where is it really? Whoa. Mouse is freaking out. So then maybe there's another algo there that I'm not seeing potentially. I think that's actually when I put in. No, I didn't. Anyways, so yeah, I kind of got a little lost here in midday, but then we started getting some retracement. I got a little FOMO. I didn't get in any puts here, but I did consider it. Breaking this white. I think I had more channels in here before, actually. Yeah, kind of have a little head and shoulder here, but it was still kind of in the middle of nowhere for me. And this would just be a retracement, which is a little sketchy in the middle of the day. So inverse cup to close, which I almost considered that to be that. I'm like, well, maybe it's a handle. However, we do have a nice shoulder here for liquidity. So once it broke that purple and started grabbing more liquidity on that right shoulder, I looked at calls for my account, and it was either 10-cent calls or like 46-cent calls, and I couldn't afford the 46s, and I didn't want the 10s. And so I just jumped on the big account, and yeah, I picked up some calls here. This is actually a pretty good trade. So that was at, what time was that? So I got 2 at 2:04. Yeah, so on this candle, the red candle right after the breaking purple, and on that shoulder, this shoulder. So I got 2 there, and then actually I scaled into it. So that's what I'm happy with about that trade, is that I bought actually more. I got 2 more at 207. Those are a little bit later. It was here. It was a limit order, so I think it gave me a nice fill on the bottom of that wick. And so I had 4 when normally I've just been trading 2 with the bigger account. Just to build confidence. I'm not necessarily trying to be profitable. I mean, I am, of course, but that will come. So yeah, I had 4 calls there, which is nice. And then my exits, of course, high of day, I'm thinking. But I'm also thinking this could very well still be a handle setting up. And then I'm also thinking top of green potential for profit taking, and you can see it did end up reacting there. I think green just wasn't activated anywhere in here, but it definitely was triggered here because we had high volume, big double doji candle, big rejection before it broke through. So that was 320 was the first fill, second was 340. First take profit was 410, and that was at 210. Let's see what I did there. That was on this one. It was kind of wasn't, I don't know how high on that one it was. The next candle was pretty squeezy though, and so positive slippage. 211, yeah. So I closed another one then because I was like, well, this fully got into it now, into my take profit. That's 50% position, which I'm happy to close, and that was for 510. Right here, you know, just in case it's not gonna make high a day and we're just still gonna be in this wedge. So I had 2 left, but since I had 4, I should have kept 1 as a runner longer. Realistically, for high of day and then top of white, which, yeah, we ended up going way past that. So you never know though if it's going to be a trend day like that. But that's why it's nice to be able to have runners if you're able to. Sold the third one third one was for 420s for less at 213. This is crazy. So all that good slippage there gave me a better fill than up here. Wait, no, that's, which one is it? 213. 221. $211. Oh yeah, 211, 213, and 221. Yeah, that 211 one, I got a higher value than, I guess it's not much higher. Whoa. Than this one right here. And I closed it pretty early on that. It's just because there's a lot of slippage, quite a bit higher. 510 to 420. So at that point, I had 1 left, and this is the one where I should have just left as a runner because that's 25% of the position. If I have 2, I said I shouldn't hold a runner. I should just sell them both. 3, probably should just get rid of all of them. 4 though, I probably could have 1 runner, and this one sold for actually less. This is the one that sold for less than that one with all that slippage actually, which is crazy at 221 on that candle. Yeah. So yeah, 1 more runner. Maybe on that big green candle, but who knows? I mean, if I had 5 or 6, you know, you could have a couple runners keep going, because I mean those contracts kept going to I mean, I don't even know what they are now. Would they close at 1900? Yeah, 22. So they went from $4 to $22. I mean, realistically, you're probably not gonna hold that long, but yeah, even up here, and then when it hit the white, they were like 300%. So yeah, I need to get better at that, especially with the small account. And that's why it's nice to have more than 1 contract. The IV is low, and with a small account this small, I'm able to have more than 1 contract, and I can kind of stretch the second one, but like 2 isn't enough for that. Inflicted. I'm happy I caught this on the big account though. I need to manage it better, just because, yeah, I could afford to have another runner. I did see this little inverse head and shoulders high a day. I didn't take it. It was already at the resistance on the 30-minute. Yeah, on the 30-minute we were close to the resistance, not quite there. This solidified that final resistance. This is Eric's SPY Day Trading on YouTube's 30-minute chart. So that was that right at 3. And then this is the final 30. So we did bust through it there with this move. Yeah, I didn't catch this. The charting at that point, it's just, yeah, I didn't like it without a bigger retrace, without more obvious structure, especially since my lines weren't quite lining up anymore. And then there's this head and shoulders and a day, which I was actually gonna take this with a small account. I queued up an order, and these actually went, I think these went like 300, 200, 300%. The problem is they were cheap. They were 10 cents, and I was gonna get 3 of them, and they did end up going to 30 cents. But I didn't like this one either. I was just like, But what, looking back on it, why I should have been more confident with this was because it was at the top of that green at that point on the 30-minute. This candle right here hadn't closed, and it was right at that green resistance. So then it came down, and then it ripped past. That could have given me a little more confidence to grab that head and shoulder. But yeah, at this point we were, I don't know. I feel like head and shoulders, I have to almost always just take them if they're obvious, and then kind of figure out if it's a retracement or if it's continuation. And hopefully I have my algos lined up to where it's all making sense for clean stops. Otherwise it's be difficult to manage. So yep, and then it did this rip rally end of day. Perfectly rejected that liquidity. That's why I have a marker there if it grabs it, potentially to get puts. But yeah, bounced on that and rallied. That was the 10-minute candle right there, which is quite large. So all in all, today's range was quite tight. Let's see, it was like 2 points until the last 30 minutes, and then it went up to 4 points. So we did a whole day's worth of range in just this final like 30 minutes. So that just shows you it's okay to be patient. It's okay to wait for the setup, not force it. The trade's coming. Even if it's in the last few minutes, you can still get a couple 100%. Or if it's just some midday random inverse head and shoulders. So if you're able to trade this successfully, consistently, with managing your risk, then that's good. Get to that point. But until you can master the easy stuff, this is kind of what I'm telling myself. Like, just wait for the easy stuff and then learn to trade the harder to see setups. So I didn't show you guys the account. I actually landed even today. My loss and my gain evened each other out. So even Steven today. I was a little sad about this move end of day because that one was a nice one, but I'm happy with it. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thanks for watching. Sub up, like up, comment down, hat money sticks around. Peace out.